Hello, my name is Tom Walsh, and I'm a special ed teacher at Northern Highlands High School. I'm part of the math department, and today I am going to share a lesson from my applied math class on graphing linear equations using the slope-intercept form of an equation. To present this lesson, I will be using 4 EdTech tools that I found very useful, and my students find them easy to navigate. These EdTech tools are the Desmos Graphing Calculator, which is an online app that lets you graph functions, plot data, evaluate equations, explore transformations, and all for free. From there, we're going to go to the Khan Academy, which offers practice exercises, instructional videos, and a personalized learning dashboard that empowers learners to study at their own pace in and outside the classroom. For classwork, I use the CUDA Software generator, which is a test and worksheet generator for math teachers. And finally, for our homework assignment, we're going to use Delta Math, which lets teachers create assignments from all math content areas. Here is the class that I'm going to be teaching. It's my applied math class, which is 11th and 12th grade students that are mostly special ed students, or if they're not special ed, learning disabled, they are deemed at risk. The lesson we are going to be going through is the graphing slope-intercept form lesson. We're in the unit, which is an introduction to graphing linear equations using different forms of the equation and finding relationships between lines and their slopes. And that's the unit we're working on. If we go and explore my Canvas page, you can see what the students see, which is my lesson mapped out with the apps that we're going to use and the assignments that they're going to be responsible for. You can see that I first used the Desmos graphing app to introduce the slope-intercept form of the equation, and so the students can see how I generate a equation, and I'll just put an equation in there real fast. Y equals x plus 3. And you can see a slope-intercept form of an equation and how that in real time generates a line on a graph. All right, and then I can go through the components where the slope, which is the coefficient of x, would be 1, and they can see that as a rise. Let me get a little closer here. We can do the rise and run up 1 over 1. So you can see the rise over run and what the y-intercept is, which is the 0.03 on the graph on the y-axis. All right, and we'll go back to the presentation here. And from the Desmos calculator, we will go into the Khan Academy. Now, I've already given the notes, the presentation on the PowerPoint, and we go from there into the Khan Academy where the students can see basically our unit on Khan Academy. And the first thing that comes up is a video which reteaches the lesson from a different perspective. Right? I'm not going to go through that whole lesson, but you can see how he's doing y equals mx plus b, the slope-intercept form of the equation. And from there, we get practice problems that the students go through, and I basically would go through those practice problems with them. More practice here, where they can manipulate the graph to basically make the line agree with this equation. And they can check their work, and first we'll start at the y-intercept, and we'll do the rise and run up 2 over 1. And it should end up right here. And then they can check their work and see how they do. All right, and those are all practice problems there on the Khan Academy. From Khan Academy, we go to the CUDA Software page, and we're going to click back to the presentation. Go to the CUDA Software page, which is a worksheet generator or a test generator, and we would go down to the graphing lines using the slope intercept form, and you can see how it generates a worksheet where the students get the equations in slope intercept form, and they're responsible for making the graphs out of those equations. If we go through, there's approximately 12 questions on this problem, which is a good problem set for classwork, and the students can also see the correct graphs in an answer key afterwards to check their work. And after CUDA Software, we're going to go to the Delta Math site for their homework assignment. And this is what Delta Math looks like, and you can see that there is a bunch of different units or lessons that we can access. Let's go. And you can see my page. Hopefully it loads up. There we go. And we'll go to, here is the lessons that I've made, and you can see the assignments that my students were working on. And you can see the lesson that I gave them that deals with slope-intercept form of linear equations and graphing lines from equations. But if we go back to the Delta Math page, and we go to the linear functions, linear equations, we'll go down to graphing lines from equations, and here's a sample problem that they would have for homework. And usually their homework problems are anywhere between 5 and 10 questions. And you're supposed to graph this equation, and you'll start with the y-intercept, and you'll do rise over run, which will be up 1 over 1, graph the line, submit your answer, and see if it's correct. And that would be the problem set, and you would go to a new problem. That is all I have for this lesson, and thank you for watching. If you have any questions or need me to explain some of the tools in more detail, please feel free to email me at walsht@northernhighlands.org. Thank you very much.